Welcome to my channel, Old Coins History 333. In this video, I tell you about the United States of America Roosevelt 1 dime, which are most valuable and rare. If you interested, please subscribe my channel. Thanks. Top 1. Today, we're diving into a seemingly ordinary coin that's anything but ordinary. The 2003 Roosevelt dime. At first glance, it may appear to be just another piece of currency in your pocket, but this little dime has a fascinating history and holds a remarkable story of rarity and value. Stick with us as we unravel the history, design, minting details, and its surprising value that will leave you speechless. By the end, you might just be rummaging through your change to find one of these coins. Our journey begins with the man who inspired this iconic coin, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt was not just a pivotal political figure, but he was also a beloved leader during some of the most challenging times in American history. His leadership through the Great Depression and World War II made him a household name, and in 1946, the U.S. Mint decided to honor him with a coin that would forever immortalize his image. The Roosevelt dime was born out of this respect for his tireless work to alleviate suffering and improve the lives of millions of Americans. But why the dime? Well, it turns out that Roosevelt's legacy, specifically his fight against polio, played a significant role in the design choice. Roosevelt was diagnosed with polio at a young age and spent much of his life battling its effects. His efforts to raise awareness about the disease and his founding of the March of Dimes inspired the coin's design. It was only fitting that the dime would bear his likeness, with the idea of raising funds for the fight against polio in mind. Now, let's take a closer look at the 2003 Roosevelt dime. The design of the dime has remained largely unchanged since its introduction in 1946, which makes it one of the most consistent and recognizable coins in U.S. history. On the obverse side of the coin, Roosevelt's profile is featured, facing left, with the words Liberty and the date 2003 above him. The coin also features the phrase "In God We Trust" to the left and "E Pluribus Unum" to the right, which are two important mottos of the United States. The reverse side features a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch, symbols of unity, peace, and strength. These elements reflect the ideals Roosevelt held dear during his presidency and are a testament to his enduring influence on the nation. One of the most intriguing aspects of the Roosevelt dime, especially the 2003 version, is its minting details. Like most modern coins, the 2003 dimes were struck at various U.S. mint locations. These included the Philadelphia Mint, which produces coins for circulation, and the Denver Mint, known for minting coins with the D Mint mark. Interestingly, in 2003, the U.S. Mint also produced proof dimes, which were specially struck for collectors and had a mirror-like finish. These proof coins are far rarer than their regular circulation counterparts, making them highly sought after by numismatists and coin collectors. Speaking of rarity, let's touch on the factors that make certain versions of the 2003 Roosevelt dime stand out in the world of coin collecting. One of the key elements that add to a coin's rarity and value is its condition. Coins that are graded as being in mint state, or with higher grades like MS 67 or higher, tend to fetch higher prices. The 2003 Roosevelt dime is no exception. Those dimes that have been well preserved and have a high-quality finish are the ones that draw the attention of collectors, particularly the ones that were produced at the Philadelphia Mint. But here's where things get really interesting. The true rarity of the 2003 Roosevelt dime comes from specific minting errors. For example, there are certain dimes from this year that were struck with unique mistakes during the minting process, such as double dies or off-center strikes. These errors can increase the value of a dime exponentially, as collectors are always on the lookout for unusual variations. Imagine finding a dime that was printed with an imperfect image or a coin that seems to have been struck just a little bit off-center. These are the kinds of coins that can turn a simple dime into a small fortune. Of course, not every 2003 Roosevelt dime is worth a fortune. The vast majority of these coins, unless in pristine condition or containing rare minting errors, are valued at just 10 cents, their original face value. But as with any collectible, the allure of rarity and the thrill of discovery is what drives collectors. Over time, a coin that was once in circulation can transform into a prized possession, especially when it's connected to a rich history like the Roosevelt dime. what about the value of the 2003 Roosevelt dime? Here's the moment you've been waiting for. Some of the rarest 2003 Roosevelt dimes, particularly those with minting errors, have been known to sell for thousands of dollars. In some exceptional cases, these dimes have been valued as high as $33,000. That's right. One dime could be worth more than a brand new car or even a luxury vacation. You might be wondering, how is it possible that such a small, unassuming coin could fetch such a high price? The answer lies in the rarity of the minting errors, the condition of the coin, and the market demand for rare and unique pieces of American history. For collectors, finding a Roosevelt dime from 2003 with an error or in perfect condition is like stumbling upon a treasure. And let's not forget the broader context of coin collecting. The world of numismatics, or coin collecting, is filled with passionate enthusiasts who are always on the lookout for the next big find. Whether it's a coin with historical significance, a unique minting error, or simply a coin that holds personal value, the community of collectors drives up the prices and demand for certain coins. As a result, even a coin as simple as a Roosevelt dime from 2003 can appreciate in value significantly. Depending on the circumstances, it's important to mention that if you're considering selling a 2003 Roosevelt dime, you'll want to get it professionally appraised. A certified coin grader can determine the exact value of your dime based on its condition, any minting errors, and its overall rarity. The grading system is key to determining how much your coin is truly worth. Coins with high grades, like MS 67, are generally worth much more than those in lower grades. For those who are looking to get into the world of coin collecting, the 2003 Roosevelt dime offers an interesting starting point. Even if you don't find a dime worth $33,000, simply having a piece of American history in your collection can be incredibly rewarding. Plus, as we've seen, with the right combination of rarity, condition, and collector interest, a coin like this can grow in value over time. In conclusion, the 2003 Roosevelt dime may look like just another coin, but it's far more than that. With its deep historical significance, timeless design, and potential for rarity and value, this dime represents a unique blend of art, history, and the fascinating world of coin collecting. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a casual observer, the story of the 2003 Roosevelt dime is one that reminds us that sometimes the most unexpected treasures can be found in the most ordinary places. So, the next time you're holding a dime in your hand, take a moment to appreciate the history behind it and maybe even consider checking for those subtle minting errors. You never know. You might just be holding on to a small fortune. Top 2. We're exploring a coin that might seem modest at first glance, but it has an incredible story and value that may surprise you. The 2005 Roosevelt dime, a small, silver-colored piece of American currency, may not be something you pay much attention to, but there's a lot more to this coin than meets the eye. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just someone fascinated by rare coins, this dime's journey from its minting process to its impressive value today is one you won't want to miss. First, let's start with the historical context that led to the creation of the Roosevelt dime. The dime, as we know it today, was first introduced in 1946, following the death of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt had led the country through the Great Depression and World War II, and his legacy was forever tied to his efforts to bring the country out of its darkest times. He is also remembered for his significant role in fighting polio, which inspired the name of the March of Dimes, a charity that helped fund research for a cure. The U.S. Mint, in its infinite wisdom, decided to honor Roosevelt by placing his image on the dime, a coin that had previously featured President FDR's predecessor, President John F. Kennedy. The coin's design has remained remarkably consistent ever since, maintaining a deep connection to American history and values. Franklin D. Roosevelt's image and profile is seen on the obverse, while the reverse side features a torch, olive branch, and oak branch. These symbols, respectively representing liberty, peace, and strength, reflect Roosevelt's ideals during his presidency. Now, you may wonder why the 2005 Roosevelt dime specifically stands out in the world of numismatics. What makes it so special, and why has it drawn collectors' attention in recent years? To understand that, we need to dive into the specific features of the 2005 coin and its place within the larger collection of Roosevelt dimes. The 2005 Roosevelt dime, like other dimes of this era, is a product of modern minting technology, and most of the dimes struck during this year were produced for circulation. However, it's important to note that some 2005 dimes were minted as proof coins, which are specially created for collectors. These proof coins are known for their brilliant, mirror-like finish and fine details, making them highly desirable to those who appreciate the artistry and craftsmanship of coinage. The 2005 proof dimes were struck at the U.S. Mint in San Francisco, and they often come with the S Mint mark, indicating their place of origin. But the true magic of the 2005 Roosevelt dime lies not only in its aesthetic appeal but also in its rarity, particularly when it comes to certain minting errors. A typical coin might not be worth much beyond its face value, but when a minting error occurs, the coin's value can increase dramatically. For example, there are certain 2005 dimes that feature double dies, where the design elements appear twice, creating an illusion of a ghost image. This happens when the dies used to strike the coins are misaligned or damaged. Similarly, off-center strikes, where the coin's image is not perfectly aligned with its edge, can also make a coin much more valuable. These errors are rare, and that's why they can command such high prices among collectors. It's a treasure hunt of sorts in the world of coin collecting. Most of us casually pass over dimes in our daily transactions, but if you're lucky enough to spot a 2005 Roosevelt dime with one of these errors, you could be holding onto a gem worth far more than its initial value. But it's not just the minting errors that have made the 2005 Roosevelt dime a sought-after item. The overall condition of the coin plays a huge role in determining its value. Coins that are well-preserved, particularly those graded as mint state or MS 67 and higher, are worth far more than coins that are worn down from years of circulation. Coin collectors place a high premium on coins that have been carefully maintained and show minimal signs of wear. In fact, a pristine 2005 Roosevelt dime could easily fetch thousands of dollars, especially if it is graded highly. So, where does the 2005 Roosevelt dime fit into the world of rare coin values? Here's where things get exciting. A few select 2005 Roosevelt dimes, especially those with minting errors or in near-perfect condition, have been known to sell for jaw-dropping amounts. Some collectors have paid up to $28,000 for a single 2005 Roosevelt dime, depending on its rarity, condition, and the specific minting error it might feature. Now, you might be asking, how does a simple dime reach such a high value? The answer lies in the scarcity and uniqueness of the coin. The world of coin collecting is fueled by demand, and when a coin is rare enough or possesses an unusual feature, such as a minting error, it can skyrocket in value. Collectors are constantly searching for these hidden gems, and when they find one, they are willing to pay top dollar to add it to their collection. As a result, even a modest dime from 2005, with the right combination of characteristics, can become a small treasure trove. It's also worth noting that the 2005 Roosevelt dime's value can fluctuate depending on the broader coin market and the demand for specific types of coins. Certain years, minting errors, and coin conditions rise and fall in popularity, and collectors are always looking for that next rare find. As a result, the value of a 2005 Roosevelt dime may continue to climb in the coming years, especially as more collectors become aware of its rarity and significance. As with any collectible, the value of a 2005 Roosevelt dime isn't set in stone. The right buyer, a good grading score, and the rarity of the coin all contribute to determining how much a specific coin can fetch. If you believe you've come across a 2005 Roosevelt dime with minting errors or in near-perfect condition, it's always a good idea to have it professionally appraised. A certified coin grader will be able to assess its condition and authenticity and potentially even help you sell it for a substantial profit. If you're just getting into coin collecting, the 2005 Roosevelt dime could be a perfect starting point. It's a coin that's accessible to anyone, but also one that offers tremendous opportunities for discovery. You don't need to be a seasoned collector to appreciate the history and potential value of this dime. Whether you find it in your change or actively seek it out through coin dealers and auctions, the 2005 Roosevelt dime offers the chance to hold a piece of American history and potentially make a significant financial gain. In conclusion, the 2005 Roosevelt dime may appear to be a simple, everyday coin, but its story is far more fascinating than one might assume. From its historical connection to President Franklin D. Roosevelt to the artistry behind its design, the 2005 dime is a symbol of America's past and present. And when you throw in the possibility of rare minting errors and the chance to find a coin worth up to $28,000, this humble dime becomes a collector's dream. So, the next time you see a 2005 Roosevelt dime, take a moment to examine it closely. You never know. You could be holding onto a piece of history that's worth far more than 10 cents. Top 3. We're diving into a piece of American history that may look simple at first glance, but carries a wealth of meaning and value. The 2001 Roosevelt dime. This unassuming coin, often overlooked in your pocket change, has captured the fascination of collectors, investors, and numismatists alike, with one particular example even fetching an extraordinary price at auction, $38,000. But before we talk about that shocking figure, let's rewind a bit and explore the history, the design, the significance, and the journey of the Roosevelt dime, which all contribute to the surprising worth it holds today. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, designed by the famous artist John R. Sinnock, to commemorate the life and legacy of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt, having passed away in 1945, was a towering figure in American politics, known for leading the country through the Great Depression and World War II. The coin was created as a tribute to his leadership, and his image has graced the dime ever since. Now, you might be wondering, why is a coin with such a straightforward design and modest denomination worth thousands of dollars? Well, that takes us into the fascinating world of coin collecting and the very specific circumstances that can elevate an otherwise common coin into a sought-after collectible. To truly understand the allure of the 2001 Roosevelt dime, we need to look at the details, starting with its minting process. The U.S. Mint struck the dime in 2001 just like they did for years before, but not all dimes are created equal. The coin we're specifically talking about here comes from a particular set of circumstances that would make it special to collectors. It's a 2001 Roosevelt dime, but not just any 2001 dime. One of the most captivating aspects of coin collecting is the concept of errors and variations. Coins, like anything that's mass-produced, are sometimes released with defects, whether by mistake or as part of a special limited edition run. The 2001 Roosevelt dime includes a handful of these rare and valuable mistakes. Whether it's a minting error that resulted in a misaligned strike, a double die, or an unusual feature that makes it stand out from the rest, these imperfections can skyrocket a coin's value. What sets the 2001 Roosevelt dime apart from others? Some 2001 dimes were produced with unique characteristics, possibly an error in the way they were struck or specific features that make them unlike the majority of their counterparts. Collectors are drawn to these types of rarities. They search, they study, and they uncover hidden treasures that are often unnoticed by the untrained eye. The thrill of finding a coin that was accidentally altered in production is what keeps coin collectors on the hunt. Now, you might be wondering, how rare is this 2001 Roosevelt dime with this particular error? Well, that's where the story gets even more fascinating. The error coin, typically unmarked or overlooked by the average person, was discovered by numismatists who recognized its unusual markings and characteristics. This moment marked the beginning of the coin's rise in value, a journey that would ultimately see it sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $38,000. But the story doesn't end with just the error. Even outside of the special variations and errors, Roosevelt dimes have an intrinsic appeal. Their design, which features President Roosevelt on the obverse, the front, and a torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse, is symbolic. The torch represents liberty, the olive branch represents peace, and the oak branch stands for strength. These elements add an extra layer of meaning to the coin, making it not just a piece of currency but a symbol of American ideals. Let's not forget that, despite its modest face value of just 10 cents, the Roosevelt dime has long been a key component of U.S. currency. For decades, it has been in circulation, and millions of dimes are still produced every year. But rare variants, especially those with errors or special minting characteristics, are far less common, and they attract substantial interest from collectors around the world. Coin collectors don't just want any coin. They want the rarest, the most unique, and the ones with the most fascinating stories behind them. The 2001 Roosevelt dime has gained a reputation for being one of those coveted coins, and its connection to Franklin D. Roosevelt only adds to its historical appeal. As we explore how this coin found its way into the hands of the right buyer, we can't ignore the role of modern technology. Coin auctions have moved online, allowing collectors from all over the world to bid on rare coins, often driving prices up in a way that wasn't possible just a few decades ago. The 2001 Roosevelt dime, with its error, would have caught the attention of eagle-eyed numismatists online who recognized the rarity and the potential value of such a coin. Once it was put up for auction, the bidding wars began, and the coin eventually sold for an eye-watering $38,000. This is the power of coin collecting. What once seemed like a simple dime, often spent without a second thought, transformed into a valuable piece of American history. It's the perfect example of how seemingly ordinary objects can hold extraordinary value under the right circumstances. For many collectors, finding such a rare coin is like uncovering a hidden treasure in plain sight. A 10-cent piece of currency, in the right hands and with the right characteristics, can be worth far more than its face value. In the case of this 2001 Roosevelt dime, it's a reminder that in the world of numismatics, value isn't always about what a coin looks like at first glance. It's about the story behind it, the rarity of its features, and the legacy it carries. So, the next time you reach into your pocket or coin jar, remember, there could be a rare, valuable coin hiding in plain sight, just waiting for the right person to recognize its worth. And who knows? You might just be the one who discovers the next $38,000 Roosevelt dime. That concludes our deep dive into the fascinating world of the 2001 Roosevelt dime. We've explored its history, the design that honors one of the most important figures in U.S. history, the minting details, the errors that make it so valuable, and the incredible $38,000 auction price that shows just how precious rare coins can be. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins or other unique collectibles, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. And as always, happy hunting! Top 4. We are diving deep into one of the most intriguing dimes ever minted in the history of the United States, the 2014 Roosevelt dime. Now, at first glance, a dime might seem like a small, unremarkable piece of change. After all, it's just 10 cents, right? But you might be surprised to learn that some of these dimes, like the 2014 edition, are attracting major attention from collectors and investors alike, even fetching incredible sums at auctions. You may be wondering, what makes this particular coin so valuable? Well, stick with me, and I'll tell you the whole story. First, let's rewind the clock a bit. The Roosevelt dime has been in circulation since 1946. It was introduced to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, shortly after his death. Roosevelt, as many of you know, was a pivotal figure in American history, leading the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. The coin was designed by John R. Sinnock, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time, and it featured Roosevelt's profile on the obverse, or front, of the coin. For decades, this dime has been a symbol of Roosevelt's enduring legacy, but there's a catch. While the design and symbolism behind the Roosevelt dime are timeless, it's the special, rare versions of this coin that truly hold the attention of collectors. And that's where the 2014 Roosevelt dime comes in. The 2014 Roosevelt dime may seem ordinary to most people, especially when compared to older, rarer coins, but there are specific characteristics of this coin that make it highly sought after. To understand why, let's first take a closer look at the design, as even the simplest features can carry profound meaning. On the obverse of the 2014 Roosevelt dime, you'll see the familiar portrait of President Roosevelt, along with the words Liberty and the year 2014 engraved above his image. What makes this design so enduring is its simplicity and elegance. Roosevelt's likeness is instantly recognizable, and it's clear that the design was meant to honor his leadership and vision for the country. On the reverse of the coin, we find the iconic imagery that has appeared on the dime since its inception. A torch, olive branch, and oak branch are arranged in a way that symbolizes liberty, peace, and strength, respectively. These symbols reflect the core values of American society, making the Roosevelt dime much more than just a coin. It's a piece of history, a tribute to the ideals that shaped the nation. So far, this seems like a pretty typical Roosevelt dime, right? But here's where things get interesting. While most dimes in circulation today are relatively easy to find and don't carry much value beyond their face value, some dimes are more rare and have specific features that make them incredibly valuable. The 2014 Roosevelt dime is part of a larger trend where certain versions of the coin, especially those with minting errors or unique characteristics, have become prize collectibles. One of the key factors that sets the 2014 Roosevelt dime apart from others is its mintage. Every year, the U.S. Mint produces millions of dimes, but only a small percentage of those coins are considered rare or valuable. Why? Because the vast majority of dimes are produced in high quantities and are released into circulation, where they remain indistinguishable from one another. But occasionally, the mint produces coins that have an error, something as simple as a misstrike, a double die, or an unusual feature that makes it stand out from the rest. In the case of the 2014 Roosevelt dime, collectors have started to take notice of these subtle variations, often pointing to dimes with slight imperfections or unique characteristics as potentially valuable. The most notable examples of these dimes are often found in higher-grade conditions, or they may come from specific mints that produced a smaller number of coins that year. These coins are what's known as key date coins, and the 2014 Roosevelt dime is one of them. To make things even more interesting, some 2014 dimes are classified as mint state or proof dimes. These are coins that have been specially struck to be in pristine condition, either for collectors or as part of special sets. Mint state dimes are typically flawless, with no noticeable marks, scratches, or blemishes. These coins are often sold in professional graded slabs, and their value skyrockets when they're found in perfect condition. If you've ever seen a coin catalog or auction listing, you know that the value of coins like this can vary significantly based on their grade, rarity, and condition. But what truly sets the 2014 Roosevelt dime apart from most others is its appeal in the world of rare coin collecting. There's something about this specific year's dime that draws collectors to it. Whether it's the pristine look of some of the 2014 mint state coins, or the fact that this particular dime carries the legacy of one of the most impactful U.S. presidents. As a result, this coin has caught the attention of both seasoned collectors and newer investors looking to invest in rare coins with the potential for significant returns. Now, let's talk about why the 2014 Roosevelt dime has become so valuable. While it's important to note that not every 2014 Roosevelt dime is worth thousands of dollars, some of the rarest examples have fetched surprising sums at auction. One coin in particular, a 2014 Roosevelt dime with a unique minting error, sold for a staggering $15,000 in a recent auction. That's right, $15,000 for a coin that most people wouldn't think twice about tossing into a jar or pocket. How did this happen? It's all about the rarity of the coin. The 2014 Roosevelt dime in question had a unique minting defect, something that was only noticed after it was in circulation for a few years. When collectors realized the error, they began to search for these specific dimes, creating a surge in demand. As with any rare item, when demand increases, so does the price. This is a perfect example of how the right mix of rarity, error, and historical significance can turn an otherwise ordinary coin into a small fortune. Imagine finding a coin like this in your pocket change or at a coin shop, something that's worth so much more than its 10-cent face value. That's the magic of coin collecting. It's not just about the physical coins themselves, but the history and the stories they carry with them. And for the 2014 Roosevelt dime, its history and its design will continue to make it an attractive piece for collectors looking for something special. So, what makes the 2014 Roosevelt dime worth $15,000? And what can we learn from it? First, it's the rarity. Even though millions of dimes were minted that year, the handful of dimes with minting errors or special characteristics are incredibly rare. Second, it's the historical significance. Franklin D. Roosevelt's image has been on the dime for decades, making the coin a lasting tribute to his leadership. Third, it's the world of coin collecting itself, where a small mistake or variation can lead to a massive increase in value. And there you have it, a simple 10-cent coin that became a valuable collectible worth $15,000. The next time you're holding a Roosevelt dime, whether it's from 2014 or any other year, take a closer look. You never know what hidden treasure might be waiting in your pocket. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the fascinating world of rare coins, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And remember, every coin has a story, and the next rare find might be just around the corner. Happy collecting!